What up, man? This is a video to know how to know if you're being gang stalked. If you see a dude with his hat cocked to this side or that side, then you're probably being gang stalked. They do that as a way to signal to other gang stalkers. So, you might walk over this way. He might cock his hat this way to signal to other gang stalkers that you this way, you feel me? Another way to know if you're dealing with gang stalkers is if his face is shaven. If his face is shaven and he don't got no facial hair, he's probably working for an agency. And a lot of times they want their agents to have clean faces so they can recognize each other out in public. Another way to recognize a gang stalker is if they about 5'6" to 5'8". The agencies like to keep people in between that height, you feel me? I don't know what it really is with that height. I think it's something with the numerology, like 5, 6, 8, you feel me? Something like that, you feel me? So they like to have people that's 5'6" in between, or people that's 5'8", you feel me? 5'7" too, anywhere between that, you feel me? It's just a certain height management so that they ain't got people that's too tall that's, popping out the crowd or nothing. They need somebody that fit into the crowd, you feel me? Another way is if they yawn with their eyes open. Because if they yawning with their eyes open, they giving signals, but they keeping their eyes open so they can still see, that they can still make sure that the other perpetrators are getting the signals, you feel me? I notice a lot of gang stalkers like to drive Nissans, you feel me? Nissans is one of their favorite cars, so if you see somebody in a Nissan, you need to pay special attention to them. Another thing is if you see them blow their nose in public, because shouldn't nobody have to blow their nose that much. You shouldn't be sniffing so much. Why you got allergies, you feel me? They's doing that because they trying to intimidate you. That's why they blowing their nose. They want you to be intimidated. If you see them scratch an itch, they don't really got no itch. They scratching to signal to other perpetrators and to let you know that you're being watched, that you're being surveillance. They want you to know. That's part of the tactics. They want you to know that you're being surveillance so that it can intimidate you. They want you to go suicide. They want you to harm yourself or something like that, you feel me? Another thing is they'll intentionally go knock out one of their headlights. And then they'll drive around so that when you see them, you recognize them because one of their headlights is gone. So then they letting you know that they see you see them. You feel me? So that's why they knock out one headlight and drive around. And they got police immunity, you feel me? So the police not gonna pull them over for missing a headlight, you feel me? Because the police is in on it too. The police is in on the whole gang stalking program, you feel me? And that's why they like red cars and they like red clothes, because red stands out more, so they like to wear red or white clothing so that they can get your attention and so that they can intimidate you. But if you're in California, it might just be a blood, you feel me? He might just be a blood, that's it, you feel me? But if you somewhere else, it's probably a gang stalker. Another thing is, I've seen a few gang stalkers, they've been spotted in all blue shirts. So anybody in an all blue shirt, man, you gotta pay attention to him, you feel me? If you're wearing an all blue shirt in the middle of the summer, pay attention to that dude, you feel me? Another thing, if you see somebody walking down the street eating a bag of chips, they probably a gang stalker, you feel me? If you see somebody at a crosswalk and they waiting on the thing to say walk before they walk, that's probably a gang stalker. Think about it. Who sits there and actually waits for it to say walk? When the cars go by, even if it say don't walk, you gonna walk across the street. If they sitting there waiting for it to say walk, something ain't right about that. They acting a little too civilized, you feel me? So that's most likely a gang stalker. Another thing, if you see a white girl at a bus stop That's most likely a gang stalker, because for one, what is she doing walking in her society? This society is basically built for them. What is you doing at a bus stop? You mean to tell me you couldn't get no ride for real? That's a gang stalker, bro, for real. Hey, you gotta pay attention to stuff like this, bro. You gotta pay attention to stuff like this, bro, for real. Your boss is a gang stalker. Your co-workers, they're in on the gang stalking too. They're all in on it together. Why you think your boss treats you like that? Why you think your boss always giving you shit? Because he wants you to lose it. He wants you to quit. He wants you to end up with nothing. He wants you to yell so he can fire you. Now you ain't got no job. Now you can't pay your bills, you feel me? Now you out here on the streets. That's what they want. Your coworkers, they in on it too. See, your coworkers, they might act all cool to your face. They might act like, they like you and stuff like that. But once you're not around, fam, they coming up with more gang stacking tactics to come up to use against you, you feel me? Why you think they always in your business? That's why I don't answer none of their questions when they ask what you doing after work, or how was your weekend, or what did you do, where'd you go? Don't answer none of that, because they just trying to learn more about you and where you be at so they can pull up on you. You feel me? That's why a lot of drivers you see in traffic, they gang stalkers, bro. A lot of these regular pedestrians you see driving down the street, they gang stalkers. They get paid to just get into traffic like that and just drive around random places and surveillance people and find targeted individuals. You feel me? That's what they're out here paid to do. That's why sometimes somebody like make a right turn in front of you, they'll pull in front of you and then go slow as hell. You feel me? And sometimes it's old people, you feel me? And that's why they're driving so slow. But even these agencies are getting the old people into the agencies now. Even the old people are becoming perpetrators now, you feel me? Why? Because they're the most disguised. That's the person you least likely gonna think is gang stalking you. And plus, these old people is retired, so they ain't got nothing else to do. So they're like, okay, let me just go get this little side job and go surveillance targeted individuals all day. That's the perfect job for them. They have nothing else to do, you feel me? And another thing, tinted windows. You need to watch for tinted windows. That's why they had tinted windows, so they can surveillance you. And you can't really see who's in there or see who's watching you because they got the tinted windows. That's one of the gang stalkers' favorite, is the tinted windows. And I think they're getting ready to make that a requirement for all gang stalkers that drive. But I don't think the gang stalkers want that, because then that's another way for all of us to know that's a gang stalker, you feel me? Another thing, if you at the store, fam, fucking bugs and shit, that's probably a gang stalker fly. See, they have nanobots, and they got technology that they don't even want us to know is really like this right here. That's probably a fucking nanobot, you feel me? That's probably a fucking gang stalker robot. They got those. My bad, y'all, man. That nanobot had hit the stop button on my recording. That's crazy. And it's crazy because while I was talking about it, that's when it did it. They really got technology out here like this, and they don't want you to know that. They got miniature-sized drones that are the size of bugs. They got drones that are shaped like bugs, bro. And they ain't even real bugs. They nanobots. They got technology out here that they ain't even really letting us know they got, and they been had it, you feel me? They got all type of stuff you couldn't even imagine, bro. But anyways, back to the store. What I was saying about the store, man, you gotta watch that cashier. Like if you getting in line to ring up your stuff, and then right before it's your turn, the cashier switch out, like another cashier walk up and stuff like that, bro, that's most likely a gang stalker, bro. And she trying to get close, she trying to get close up on you, you feel me? Or he, whatever the case, fam. They probably want to see want you to use your debit card so they can get your info, stuff like that. Or if you got other items and they need to see your ID, now they can see your ID and get more info on you, feel me? They want to get close up on you. So if the cashier switch right before it's your turn, man, go to a different line. And if that cashier still follow you over to that other line, then put your stuff back and just go to a different store, you feel me? And another thing, when they ask you, do you want the receipt in your hand or in the bag, just don't even take the receipt, because they putting tracking devices inside the receipt too, bro. And then they'll just follow, they'll just know where you going everywhere after you leave the store, you feel me? You don't want that. So another thing, back to the implants and stuff like that, the implanted eyes, bro. A lot of us got implants in our eyes and we don't even know it, bro. Like, they'll implant you and you won't even know it. Now, if you get lucky, your implant will malfunction, you feel me? So then they had to find other means to track you and stuff like that. But man, that's why I don't. If you go to the dentist and you need to get a filling, you better off just letting your tooth go rotten. Just let it rot out or get it pulled or something like that, because when they give you a filling, they're gonna put an implant in your tooth and you ain't never gonna be able to get it out unless you pull that tooth. But they always gonna be able to track you this or that. Like I said, you'll be lucky if it malfunctions, but they got some pretty good implants nowadays that don't even malfunction, you feel me? They keep going and going and going like Energizer, for real, man. And another thing, man, you gotta watch when you go to the bathroom, because back on to them nanobots I was talking about, you seen how that nanobot was flying in? He turned my video off. And see, it's another nanobot over there. These nanobots, bro, they got some that are so small you could barely see them, bro. So you see like a fruit fly or a gnat, man, or something like that, watch out for that, bro, because that might not be no real gnat. That might be a nanobot. And sometimes when you trying to use the bathroom, they'll try to fly up your private parts, you feel me? Because most men think with their private parts. So guess what happens if they can get inside your private parts? They get to know what you think. They get to know your thoughts, you feel me? So you don't want that. If you finna go to the bathroom, make sure you double check, man. When you close the bathroom, stand still for a few seconds and make sure you don't see like no nanobots flying around and no stuff like that, bro. Even if you gotta do number 2, because they can get in that way too, you feel me? So you gotta watch out for that, because your mom is in on the gang stalking. Your brothers, your cousins is in on the gang stalking. Your girlfriend is in on the gang stalking. They've been trying to send hella girls at me, but I'm already knowing what it is. These just agents, you feel me? It's kind of funny that like 3-4 new girls been, you know, actually getting at me in this last month. That's kind of funny, bro. That's how I know it's a setup. Like, you gotta watch out for that. Like, if it seemed like, okay, why is she willing to give me the time of day? That's too good to be true, you feel me? That's an agent, you feel me? If she trying to give you the time of day, then that's probably an agent, you feel me? So you gotta watch out for her, because being around somebody like that, she gonna infiltrate you. She gonna have all the info on you. She gonna have all the scoops. She gonna know what you do. She gonna know your patterns, your routines, your habits, everything. And if you have sex with her, she can implant you like that. She can implant your private parts directly, you feel me? So, and then she gonna know what you think, because most men think with their private parts. So you don't want that, bro. So if a girl trying to get at you, or if you got a girlfriend, break up with her, because she probably a gang stalker, you feel me? Like I said, your mom is in on it. She probably the reason why you getting gang stalked. No, a lot of reason why a lot of us getting gang stalked is your teachers. You gotta watch out for your teachers. If you still in school and your teacher be acting funny towards you and stuff like that, or be feeling some type of way towards you and stuff, you gotta watch out for that, because sometimes your teachers will feel like you too intelligent, you feel me? So then they'll mark you to be targeted. The school will mark you to be targeted. Like, let's watch this one. This one thinks out the box. It thinks outside the box a little too much, you feel me? So if your teachers know you intelligent, too intelligent, then they're gonna get on that with you. Another thing, man, if you see like 3 niggas, if you see 3 niggas together, bro, then those are most likely gang stalkers, because niggas don't get along, you feel me? So it's like, how's y'all all together like that getting along? Those are most likely gang stalkers, and they getting along because they all in the same agency together, you feel me? So it's like a gang, you feel me? And if you waking up at midnight, if you waking up, I mean, not at midnight, but if you like waking up in the middle of the night a lot, then that's probably the gang stalker agencies targeting you with frequencies and stuff like that, like something similar to radio waves. They hitting you with that at night to wake you up and disrupt your sleep, so that you can't think straight, so that you ain't got no clarity, so that you'll get frustrated and stuff like that throughout the day, because you're gonna be exhausted. You know how it feels when you ain't getting no sleep. Ain't nobody happy when they ain't getting no sleep. So they'll do that to throw you off balance, you feel me? But even worse is if you're getting too much sleep. If you're getting too much sleep, then you need to pack up your stuff and move to a different place, because that's even more dangerous, because they hitting you with waves that are making you sleep too much, so that they can hypnotize you and brainwash you while you sleep. So that's even more dangerous. You got to get away from that. Your work schedule, man, you gotta watch if they changing your work schedule up. So if you work in this schedule one week, then next week they're like, okay, we need you to work these days at this time and this time. Be aware that you was probably being gang stalked at the job. Like I said, your boss is in on it, and your co-workers is in on it. So they'll switch up your schedule so that they know exactly what schedule to stalk you on, you feel me? If they ain't got certain agents to fill to fill that schedule for you at your current work schedule, then they're gonna change your work schedule so that they have agents available for whenever you get off work or whatever the case is, you feel me? So you gotta watch out for that work schedule thing. Another thing, man, have you noticed that when you see ads on the computer or YouTube videos or whatever, fam, it's always ads that are like related to your interests? That's because your computer is gang stalking you. You might want to get rid of your computer. Your computer know too much about you. Don't get no fish, because they got nanobots that can infiltrate the fish and like act as a parasite to the fish and take over the fish's brain. Then the whole time you don't even know it, your fish is watching you, recording and taking all type of info on you, getting all type of intel on you, you feel me? So just don't get any pets, period, because pets are more susceptible to the gang stalking parasites and the gang stalking spirits that can hop on them. There's gang stalking demons that can hop onto your pets, and then your pets will be gang stalking you, surveillancing you, and recording all this intel on you without you knowing. And that you don't want that. That's too close to home. So yeah, I would advise against getting any pets. They are way too susceptible to getting took over by demons and nanobots. And I think they're starting to really ramp up the use of these nanobots, you feel me? Because I guess they're running out of demons, so they gotta, ramp up the nanobots, you feel me, and get them out here. And fish is one of the easiest thing to take over. For a spirit, for a demon, or a nanobot, a fish is the easiest thing to take over, because their brains ain't that powerful. So once they lock onto that brain, they got control of the whole fish. That's why sometimes your fish might be acting funny. When you come in the room, he go hide somewhere, you feel me, and just peek out and shit, because he watching you, you feel me? So if you live in a city and you going through this gang stalking stuff real bad, I would advise you, if you live in the city, to move to the suburbs. And if you move in the suburbs, if you live in the suburbs, then move to the country. And if you live in the country, then you need to move back to the city so some of us out here can have some room in the country, you feel me? But yeah, we just have to take turns or something, because I feel like the ones out there in the country, they don't really deal with it, you feel me? They're more secluded from the rest of society, they're more in isolation. So it's harder to just stalk them on a day-to-day, you feel me? But yeah, man, shout out to all my TIs out there, man. We gonna get through this, man.